Hey folks, welcome back to the Portable Gamer, welcome back to Train Sim World, and welcome back to the Canadian National Oakville Subdivision add-on DLC. We're going to use the other piece of kit that came with this DLC. The first one that we were in, the GP9RM, that was last episode. This is the GP38-2, and I believe this loco, well, it's all over in terms of freight and yard operations, like all over the continent, and I think down into South America as well. It's a very popular loco, has been for many, many years. So we do have this at other places in the Train Sim World franchise, but we have it on the Canadian National as well. We are on, this is not a scenario as we normally do. This is a, are they calling it timetable now? Service? I don't know. But it's basically these are all the things that are happening all around the virtual world, like at all times. So we're going to turn all these on. We want that on. We want that on. Yep. We want these on, like so. I want to put this in right there. I want to set this to freight. I'm going to go right up here and turn these on. And this may or may not be the way you does it in real life, but that's how we do it here. And I think it's pretty close. Okay, so our first stop is the Hamilton Yard East Lead. And we'll get rolling and I'll show you what... I wanted to show this to you last episode, but we didn't quite make it. So I'll show it to you this time. So brakes is off. Pressures are coming up. Going forward. There's our brakes. And here we go. So check this out. As we start rolling, yep, there we go. Look at this industrial area we get to play in. This is unbelievable. And all of these little sidings represent actual industrial facilities doing actual things in the sim. Very, very cool. I found some type of ethanol loading facility playing around off camera. It's a very, very cool area. And I think I said this. I know I said this. When I first got the sim, I wanted to drive trains. I wanted to, go fast and, right, like be an engineer. And I didn't really think too much about yard work. But yard work in its own way is as much fun. In some cases, I think it's maybe more fun than just driving a train, because really driving a train, you get in it, you get set up. Where's our switch? There you go. You get in, you get set up, you bump the throttle up, and then you just sort of, keep an eye on your speed. Whereas yard work, you're hopping up and down and checking switches, and it's a little bit more active. You just do more. So, yeah, I'm really, really liking it. And I'm liking the direction that this franchise is heading in. I think they've done... Oh, we got a red signal up here. But we're going to be stopping well before we get to it. So, got that right there. I'm going to stop this right up here. Right about like so. Beautiful. Now where? Couple of formation. It's right over there. All right, so we'll check these. That's good. That's good. Like so. And like so. And I'll show you this from the outside as well. So turn this off. All right. Cursor. Brakes. There we go. And this is, ooh, there we go. Outside. Yeah, that's the one we want. Yeah, I just continue to be impressed. We're at about 50, 55 FPS in a yard with all this stuff happening. And that is, when I think back to the original, the way that the game looked when it was sort of the first iteration of the game, almost 2 years ago. Did not think it would ever look like this smooth, this level of detail. And I also went with kind of an evening scenario, so you can see the lighting and fog. It's a really good looking game. I continue to be impressed. Glad that I got it. Glad that I'm staying on top of the DLC. At some point, I will have to slow down a little bit. There's no way I'm buying 300 DLC. I'm just not going to do it. But for now, I'll try to keep up as well as I can. Oh, look at this little detail over here. Little busted light bulb flickering. Oh, it's the details, man. all about the details. Right, so we'll get this hooked up, and then we're going to pull forward into the industrial zone. And there are, yeah, I don't know how many activities there are in there. There's got to be dozens. And I think I saw in the notes for one of these updates that Dovetail will eventually be letting people edit or create scenarios, and they'll be able to edit routes. I'm sorry, they'll be able to create routes. They won't be able to edit the existing routes. Those will be fixed. But they will be able to, if they want to, hop back in here. Victoria Avenue. That is over here. So let's see if everything's pointed the right way. Yes. All good over here. Over here. This way. Beautiful. Good there. Like so, and like so. Right, so we go back in here. Back in here. Forward. Breaks off. There we go. So yeah, as I understand it, you will be able to create your own scenarios. You'll be able to create your own routes, your own maps, but I think mostly people are going to use that to create their own scenarios. But Dovetail is working to, and again, this is how I understand this. If I'm wrong, please let me know. But they're aiming to create kind of a living world. I keep calling it the timetable, but it's like the daily sort of flow and schedule of trains. And you can just hop into one that is doing what it would be doing anyway. So if you, anytime we're out in the world and we see a train moving, that's part of the timetable, part of the schedule. If we wanted to, we could hop into that train and control it. And in fact, it may happen during this episode, but periodically the sim will ask you, do you want to give up control of the train that you're in and do something else? When we get done with this mission, it's supposed to take about 20 minutes. Well, it's not really a mission, it's just an activity, I guess. But when we get done with it, the sim will ask if we want to go to free roam, and you can just drive around. I haven't spent a ton of time back here, but I have been driving around a little bit in this industrial zone. I did an activity where I had to take a load of tank cars, very much like these. Hang on now. Very much like these. Reset to the end of the train. Took a load of these to an ethanol facility. Had to get out, go to. I'm going to slow down a little bit. Go up onto a gantry, walk the length of it, and actually open the top, like dog the cover off the tank car, right? Hook up the ethanol nozzle, the feeder, turn the flow on, fill the car, and then when it was full, take the filler off, move the gantry back over, dog the hatch on top of the car, step off the platform, and there were, I'd say about a dozen cars, maybe 12, 15, yeah, give or take. But it's things that involve getting out of the train, and I didn't think I'd ever be into that. I really didn't. I thought, we'll just drive trains. But I guess there is a lot more to driving a train. So we hop back in here. There's a lot more to driving a train than just driving a train, but golly, this has really turned into a good-looking sim. I could not be happier. Yeah, really pleased with this. And getting smoother and faster. That is, I think the thing that is most impressive to me is that as the game looks better, it also plays faster. How you do that, Dovetail? That's some trick. Good on you. So we'll pull up here, and if I remember correctly, we're going to knock some cars off the end of this consist and then pull forward just a bit more, and that'll be the end of it. But yeah, I wanted you to see this area. We didn't really see it. Whoa, hang on. We're speeding quite a bit. Slow this down. There we are. That's better. Really didn't see too much of this when we did the first episode. It was more of a kind of an end-to-end scenario. So I thought this will be cool. Let's take a look at some of these hidden areas back here. Man, and just the amount, like the density of scenery and track back here. In fact, I'll jump out and show you the map again. Come up on the other side of this bridge. Right about like so. And look at this, man. look at all this back here. And it really does just go on and on and on. And as I said, all of these represent buildings and facilities and industries with functions, things that you have to go there and do, or I guess when enough scenarios are built, things that you can go there and do. But yeah, very pleased with this DLC. And what else is going on? We got a few minutes. What else is going on as far as SimWorld? Nothing really. I mean, it's a weekend for me. I've just been playing with all my new Sims, playing with all my new DLCs, and just really enjoying myself. Now that we can't turn off. That's always just going to pop up. I wish I could turn that off all the way. I guess if we do that, yeah, we can turn everything off. You know, I'll take a look. Maybe there's a way to turn that off selectively. But as far as I know, that just pops up anytime you're over a movable or clickable object. Slow down a little bit. We're heading downhill. And we're going to Victoria Avenue. Right on. Yeah, man. I don't know. Let me know what you think. If you've been on board, so to speak, that was unintentional. If you've been on board since CSX Heavy Haul and you've seen the evolution of this game over the past couple of years, let me know what you think. I mean, are we headed in the right direction? Is it doing what it's supposed to do as a sim? Is it working for you? That's good, and that is good. I also like that, hang on, slow this down just a little bit more. I also like that you can do as much or as little as you want. I know there are people that play flight sim, they've got flight sim vids on YouTube, and they start at the very beginning. They start with the pre-flight, you know, they load fuel, they get everything set for navigation, weather, the whole deal. And they want to start from the ramp. They want to start from parking. They want to start from the gate, right? From the jetway, wherever it is. They absolutely want to start at the very, very, very beginning. Other people want to jump in at the end of the runway with the engine running and just advance the throttles and start their takeoff roll. But I've always been more of the school that you start with the engine off. You do everything from the very beginning to the very end. And the last thing you do is park the thing and set the brakes, turn the engine off. That's my preferred play style. So we'll get this stopped up here. Right about somewhere, say right about here. All right. Uncouple the vehicles. I always do this. I don't know if you do this in real life or not, but I always just, out of habit, set the brakes on the actual loco itself as well. So we'll go down here. And down here. All right, and now we have the red target. I believe the red target means that we could be hit by a train. I've never been hit by a train in a yard. I don't know what happens, if it just bumps you out of the way or if it ends the scenario. I imagine it would just fade to black or something. They're not going to have a, you know what I mean? No kind of big gruesome scene. But I've been hit by a train. I just don't like that red marker in the center of the screen. So I'm going to go over here in the dirt so we can get that thing to turn off. Yeah, so like this right now, when we complete this scenario, I believe there's another, I keep calling it a scenario and it's not. Wait for just a minute. All right. I believe that once we're done with whatever it is that we're doing, the next thing that we do could involve this same train starting at the new place that we took it to. So in other words, when you're on the timetable, if you were to complete like task F, right? When you stop that train, the stopping point for that train is the starting point for task G. So you could just work your way through them from end to end if you wanted to. I think. I haven't done that yet. I tend to be a little bit more haphazard. I'll do this one now, and then another one later, and then another one after that. Right back up here. I also like that the detail is not, it's not just when you're in drone cam looking down at the trains. There's a great amount of detail when you're sitting in them, when you're walking next to them, you know, the whole deal. Okay, McAnulty Yard. So, both brakes off. Right? Right. Bump my mouse, wait for everything to come up here. Pressures are up. Still forward. Here we go. Yeah, it really feels like driving a train. Obviously, I've never driven a train. I don't know exactly what it feels like, but this feels pretty real to me. It feels pretty authentic as far as acceleration and just the sounds and everything. Great sound palette in this game. Really, really pleased about that. And yeah, lighting, weather. They brought it around. And if there is any complaint, it is, what are they going to do with that DLC model? Ooh. Okay, get that thrown over the right way. What are they going to do with that DLC model? I hear people say that the game is super buggy and that Dovetail does not fix things and it's all, you know, there may be some things here and there that I see, but they're not the kind of things that really bother me. Although, in fairness, I'm not a super rail fan to the level of, you know, I don't know, what would an example be? I don't know, if you had historical race cars in a sim, something that I'm super familiar with, or a car that I'm a big fan of, if you had like the wrong numbers on it, or the wrong color, it might bother me a little bit. But, you know, as long as it drives smooth, plays okay, I don't know that I'm going to get that bent out of shape about it. But to each their own, right? A lot of different kind of people got to push to make the world spin. So if you're into super high levels of detail and you won't accept anything less, good on you. Yeah, this just goes on and on and on back here. Really a huge area to play in. Now, I don't know how many, as far as I know, that timetable, I get the feeling those are kind of fixed. I don't know if they would ever consider going to a model where it's procedurally generated, where it's different every day. One day you have to pick up a load of these cars here and take it to this location, and the next day at the exact same time you have to pick up something else at a different place and take it to another place. I don't know if they would ever go that far. I think it is somewhat fixed, but there's certainly enough of them that I can't imagine you would get bored with it super quick. So, oh, I haven't got bored with it. I'm still, every time I hop in this sim, especially the later DLC, every time I hop in it, I'm sort of amazed. Very cool, very cool. So let's hop back down in here, and we will, yeah, we just got another, a little over a mile to go. We'll get this thing parked, and I believe that's going to be the end of our task for today. We got the head bounce now. You can see our camera, our perspective is moving just a little bit, which I think is great. Really contributes to the immersion for me. And I think I saw some CSX rolling stock, which is also very cool because even though we're on a Canadian National DLC, I guess in real life you would have various rolling stock from various different railroads scattered about, littered about. So, yeah, I think they're right up here. Let's hop out here. Is that them? Maybe. Yeah, look at all this stuff, man. Oh. All kinds of facilities back here. And the ones that I know of, or at least the one that I've found, there is some type of ethanol or hydrocarbon refinery, some kind of plant that handles petrochemicals. But I want to say there's like an auto manufacturing plant back here. There's just all kinds of stuff. Check this again too, just to make sure. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. That one. And that one. Is that right? That one? Yep. And we're going right there. Okay. Beautiful. I love it. And I'm trying to think of anything else. Yeah, I mean, like I said, this is a loco that we've used before on other DLC, but I don't mind. Doesn't bother me at all. It is... Oh, that's what I was going to do. I was going to tell you all about it. Hang on. This is the GP38. Let me hop in here. From the Wikipedia. EMD GP38-2 4-axle diesel electric locomotive of the road switcher type. Built by General Motors Electromotive Division. Part of the EMD-2 line. The GP38-2 was an upgraded version of the earlier GP38. Oh no, hope I don't run out of time. 59 feet 2 inches long, 10 feet 4.5 inches wide, 15 feet 4 inches high, 250,000 pounds. The prime mover is a 16-645E V16 two-stroke diesel with a Roots type blower on it. Alternator is AC. Traction motors are DC. 16 cylinders, diesel electric, local brakes, straight air dynamic, maximum speed 65 miles per hour, 2,000 horsepower, or 1.49 megawatts. Tractive effort starting 61,000 pound-feet at 20%. Continuous 54,700 pound-feet at 11.1 miles per hour. Used in North America and Saudi Arabia. Okay, so not South America, just North America and Saudi Arabia. All right. And most of the 2,000 plus that were built are still in service as of 2019. Fantastic. And what did we... Oh, just saw it out of the corner of my eye. There it is. There's CSX right back there. There's CSX. Yeah, I knew I saw those earlier. I knew I did. Right on, man. I don't know how into railroads you are. I really am. I'm not quite a rail fan. I'm not a rail nut. I just kind of like them, you know? It's just a thing. All right, so, yeah, there's more CSX. Beautiful. This is so soothing for me. This is so relaxing. So peaceful, just like very slowly cruising through an industrial area at 15 miles per hour in a gigantic train. I find it to be very relaxing. Yeah, this has got to be some type of a mill. I see many, many, many spools of sheet metal. Yeah. Fantastic. Oh, look at this with the fog and the buildings out there in the distance. Love it. I think that's us just about done. We'll hop in here. And I think, is that all? Yeah, these are all that rolling stock we can see on our right. That's all, none of that is static. We could go couple to those and move them around if we wanted to. That's not scenery, that's like real stuff. Can't believe the frame rate we have with all of that. That's amazing. Yeah, I'm going to keep going on and on about that because it really is impressive to me what they've done to optimize the game. Right, I think this is us. Just about done. Right up here. There we are. And that's it. That's us done. Beautiful. A little bit of a speed violation right there. Not too bad. Not too bad. That's it. Folks, thanks for stopping back to check out the Portable Gamer. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Train Sim World 2020. This is the Canadian National Oakville Subdivision add-on DLC and the GP38-2. See you next time. Take care now.